In the quiet hills of Chiang Mai, where ancient temples stand as sentinels to time, a rumor began to stir. It was whispered in tea houses, murmured in temple courtyards, and carried on the winds that swept through rice paddies. A monk, revered for his profound insights and rumored mystical abilities, had shared 5 numbers he claimed were destined to change lives on Sunday, December 22, 2024. The monk, Venerable Chayanan, was no ordinary ascetic. He had spent decades in silence, meditating in the caves of Doi Suthep. His followers claimed he had achieved samadhi, a state of deep meditative absorption, and that during one of these states he received a vision. The vision, as the story goes, was of 5 glowing numbers etched in golden light, surrounded by celestial beings chanting mantras. These numbers, he said, were not mere figures, but a cosmic key, a combination blessed by the energies of karma and dharma. When asked why he chose to reveal the numbers, the monk simply said, "The world is at a turning point. These numbers will test human greed, generosity, and faith. They are both a blessing and a burden." The revelation came with a catch. Venerable Chayanan did not explicitly state what these numbers were for. Was it a riddle meant to guide personal enlightenment? A cryptic blessing for prosperity? Or perhaps, as many speculated, a prediction of the winning lottery numbers for the grand jackpot scheduled on December 22, 2024. The numbers 9, 22, 5, 11, and 33 soon became the center of heated discussions. Numerologists dived into their meanings, pointing out their spiritual and cosmic significance. 9 represents completion, the end of a cycle in Buddhist thought. It signifies transcendence and the culmination of karma. 22, a master number, is linked to building and achieving great things, resonating with harmony and vision. 5 symbolizes the 5 precepts of Buddhism, guiding ethical conduct. 11, another master number, embodies intuition and spiritual awakening. 33, the highest master number, is tied to altruism and service to humanity. While many embraced the numbers as a sign of good fortune, others questioned their purpose. Why would a monk, devoted to renouncing worldly attachments, encourage such materialistic pursuits? The controversy deepened when a group of skeptics accused the monk of exploiting his followers, suggesting the numbers were a ploy to attract donations to his temple. The announcement polarized the community. On one side were the believers, those who saw the numbers as a divine gift. They traveled from distant provinces, carrying offerings to the temple, hoping to receive the monk's blessing. Some even sold their belongings to buy lottery tickets with the sacred combination. On the other side were the critics. Local scholars and traditional monks argued that using sacred teachings to chase wealth contradicted the very essence of Buddhism. Attachment to material gain is a path to suffering, they warned. This obsession with numbers will only lead to disappointment and spiritual ruin. Adding fuel to the fire, a wealthy businessman named Somchai claimed he had a dream of the same numbers months before the monk's announcement. "In my dream, I was standing before a giant Bodhi tree, and the numbers appeared in its leaves," he said. Somchai's declaration turned him into an unlikely ally of Venerable Chayanan, though some dismissed him as a publicity seeker. The story of the lucky numbers monk spread beyond Thailand, capturing the imagination of the world. International media descended on Chiang Mai, turning the serene temple into a chaotic circus of reporters, pilgrims, and skeptics. Online forums buzzed with theories, and social media became a battleground for debates about faith, destiny, and the ethics of wealth. One particularly viral video showed a young woman, Pim, breaking down in tears as she described how the monk's numbers had given her hope. "I lost everything during the pandemic," she said. "These numbers are not just a chance for wealth. They are a sign that the universe hasn't forgotten me." Yet, the frenzy came at a cost. Devotees accused outsiders of disrespecting sacred grounds. The temple elders, overwhelmed by the influx of visitors, imposed restrictions on access to the monk. Meanwhile, a shadowy figure claiming to be a disillusioned former disciple of Venerable Chayanan, accused him of fabricating the vision to gain fame. As December 22nd approached, tensions reached a boiling point. The jackpot for the national lottery had swelled to an unprecedented amount, and ticket sales broke records. Across Thailand and beyond, millions of people clung to the numbers as their lifeline, their chance to rewrite their destinies. But beneath the surface of hope and excitement lay a profound question. If these numbers truly held the power to change lives, what kind of change would they bring? Would the winners be transformed into symbols of generosity, spreading their wealth to uplift others? Or would they become cautionary tales, consumed by greed and the karmic weight of their newfound riches? Venerable Chayanan, for his part, remained silent, retreating once again into meditation. When asked for guidance, he offered only a cryptic message. The numbers are neither good nor bad. They are a mirror. What you see in them depends on what you seek. The sun rose on December 22nd, 2024, casting a golden glow over the temple of Wat Phra That Doi Suthep. The air was thick with anticipation. Across Thailand, and in distant corners of the world where the story of Venerable Chayanan had reached, millions of people clutched their lottery tickets, each one bearing the sacred numbers: 9, 22, 5, 11, 33. It was as if time itself held its breath. For some, the day represented hope. For others, it was a test of faith. And for the skeptics, it was a moment of vindication, or so they believed. At precisely 8 p.m., the live lottery draw began. Streets emptied, televisions flickered in homes and bars, and a hush fell over the nation. The first number to be drawn was 9. A collective gasp echoed across Thailand. Then came 22, followed by 5. By the time the fourth number, 11, was revealed, the tension was unbearable. Finally, the last ball emerged, 33. For a moment, silence reigned. Then the world erupted into chaos. Winners and the weight of wealth. Thousands of people had chosen the numbers, each believing in the monk's prophecy. But the jackpot, as was the rule, would be divided among the winners. For most, this meant a modest sum, enough to pay off debts, start a small business, or secure a brighter future. Yet among the winners, one name stood out: Somchai, the wealthy businessman who had claimed to dream of the numbers months earlier. Somchai had purchased thousands of tickets with the sacred combination, ensuring he walked away with the lion's share of the prize. The revelation sparked outrage. Many accused him of exploiting the prophecy for personal gain, turning what should have been a symbol of divine intervention into a cold, calculated business strategy. Somchai, however, remained unapologetic. "The numbers were a gift to everyone," he said during a televised interview. "I simply had the means to act on that gift more boldly." Somchai announced plans to donate a portion of his winnings to charity, but the gesture was met with skepticism. Critics argued that his actions exemplified greed cloaked in generosity, a perfect reflection of the moral ambiguity surrounding the entire event. The days following the draw were marked by intense debate. Philosophers, religious leaders, and social commentators weighed in on the implications of the monk's prophecy. The believers, for those who saw the numbers as a divine sign, the outcome was proof of cosmic balance. Many winners shared stories of how the money had already transformed their lives. A farmer paid off his land, a widow funded her daughter's education, and a struggling artist finally opened the gallery of her dreams. The skeptics. Critics argued that the frenzy over the numbers highlighted humanity's worst traits: greed, desperation, and a willingness to place faith in the improbable. The monk's prophecy was never about wealth. One scholar insisted, it was a test, and many failed. The disillusioned. Some who had clung to the numbers as their last hope felt betrayed. They had spent their savings, only to walk away empty-handed. For them, the prophecy was a cruel joke, a reminder that faith alone could not change their fortunes. Amid the chaos, Venerable Chayanan remained silent. Many sought him out, hoping for clarity or reassurance, but the temple announced that the monk had retreated into a month-long meditation, leaving behind only a single written message. The numbers were a mirror. What you saw in them reflects what you carry in your heart. Wealth is fleeting, but the lessons you learn are eternal. The message left much to interpretation. Some saw it as a validation of their actions, while others took it as a rebuke. For the disillusioned, it offered little comfort. Beyond the immediate winners and losers, the prophecy had far-reaching consequences. Charities reported record donations from those who had won smaller prizes, inspired to share their fortune. At the same time, financial advisors warned of the dangers of sudden wealth, citing stories of winners who had already squandered their earnings on impulsive purchases. The controversy also sparked a renewed interest in Buddhist philosophy. Temples across Thailand reported a surge in attendance, with many seeking to understand the teachings of detachment and the impermanence of material wealth. Ironically, the very event that had ignited a frenzy for riches also led some to question the value of money altogether. The story of the lucky numbers monk transcended borders, inspiring similar movements in other countries. In India, a spiritual guru claimed to have received a vision of numbers that would bring prosperity to his followers. In the United States, a tech entrepreneur announced plans to create an app based on Chayanan's teachings, blending ancient wisdom with modern algorithms to predict lucky days for users. Not all of these endeavors were well received. Critics warned of charlatans exploiting vulnerable people, turning spirituality into a commodity. Yet for many, the global response was proof of the enduring power of hope and faith in a world often dominated by uncertainty. As the months passed, the frenzy surrounding the numbers began to fade, but their impact lingered. For some, they were a life-changing blessing. For others, a painful lesson in the dangers of attachment. And for a select few, they became a symbol of something deeper, a reminder that life's greatest mysteries often defy simple explanations. Venerable Chayanan eventually emerged from his meditation, offering no additional commentary on the numbers. Instead, he resumed his teachings, focusing on the principles of mindfulness and compassion. When asked about the legacy of his prophecy, he smiled and said, "The numbers were never about winning. They were about awakening. Those who understood this have already found their jackpot." The story of the monk and his numbers leaves us with a question that transcends the specifics of the lottery or the controversy. What do we truly seek when we chase after luck or wealth? Is it security, freedom, validation, or something deeper, a sense of connection to a universe that often feels indifferent? Perhaps, as Venerable Chayanan suggested, the answer lies not in the numbers themselves, but in what they reveal about us. In the end, the real jackpot may not be wealth or success, but the wisdom to see beyond them,